Hi everybody, it's Carla with Cobweb Corner and welcome to FlossTube 36. Wow, so lots to talk about today, so I'm just going to jump right into it. I still have a cold. I just got back from the doctor. Luckily, even though I'm having some chest pain and lots of coughing, she doesn't think I have any kind of infection in my lungs, but I'm on prednisone, antibiotic, and cough syrup. So I was like, wow, I don't want to take all that stuff, but I have got to get better. I've had an interesting couple weeks. I have continued to not really feel very good, and my back was just really bothering me. So finally, my girlfriend said, you really need to go to a chiropractor. So I asked on one of my message boards on Stitch and Move, or on our Facebook group, is a massage better for a bad back or a chiropractor? Because I was really hoping everybody would say, oh, just go have a massage. And a couple of people said they like massages better, and most people said chiropractor. But I'm like, massages are a lot more fun, so I'm going to try that first. And I went and had a massage, and it really did help. The lady I went to was excellent. She concentrated on the area of my back that was bothering me, and I felt probably 60-70% better. But it wasn't, a fix, which I kind of knew wouldn't happen. So I finally gave in and went to the chiropractor, and I hate going to chiropractors. I hate being adjusted, but it helped so much. I need to go back. I was going to go back today, but I had to go to the doctor and stuff. But I would say I'm 90% better. It was like as soon as he adjusted way down low in my back, it just popped and went I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. So and it was like a walk-in. It was Chiro Today, and it was $27, and you just walk in. And I went and there was nobody else there. There was no cars in the parking lot or anything. So I got right in, and the guy was super nice and really watched it, or really liked it. Sorry. I was like reading my notes, because my notes next say I joined Weight Watchers. And I'm not gonna, talk about it a lot, and it's only been four or 5 days, but my girlfriend joined, and she really, really likes it. So I joined, and I have to say, I like the system. It's points where you can eat whatever you want, and you really, truly can eat wherever you want. And they have 3 different plans, and the plan I'm on gives me 200 free foods that I don't have to count towards points. So I can eat, like tonight we're having king crab legs. I'm like, no butter, no drawn butter. But I can have shrimp, crab legs, scallops, and then I can have chicken breast, turkey breast, and then all the fruits and vegetables I want for free, for no points. So far I've been doing it for 5 days, and I only went over my points once. And most days I'm under my points. So I'm not weighing myself. They say only weigh yourself once a week. And that's what I'm going to do. So Tuesday is my weigh-in. Work in progress. Hi, Bo. My work's in progress. So I only working on one thing. I'm working on Sunflowers Farm by Core Ebati Core. And I got a lot done. So here's where I'm at. I finished all of this. I got the table finished. Isn't that woman just adorable with her bouquet of flowers and those little tiny bees? I just love it. And then I got the word Sunflower Farm and most of the borders. So this side of the border's done, and I've got maybe a third of the border at the top. So isn't this just an adorable pattern? Oh, there's Bo. Down for now, Bo. No. So I'm so happy with how it's turning out. It is just the best pattern to work on. And all I have left is, all I have left is the rest of the top border. This side and the bottom. And then I have a little tiny bit of this white lacy trim to do. And then I'll be done. I'm really hoping to get done before I go to Spain, which is in a week and a half. So we'll see. Now, that's all I worked on stitch-wise, but I had a major unicorn haul this week. I purchased a box of books from a store who was trying to get rid of some older inventory so they can make room for new. And I said, just send me a box, and we'll see, I'll check out what kind of condition they're in and how old they are and how sellable they are. And she said, well, there's a couple patterns in here that are $40 a piece. Do you want those? And I'm like, I have no idea what they are. I said, yep, include them. And then if I like them, if I don't like them, I'll send them back. And if I like them, we'll see if we can come to an agreement. And in the box were two of these, A Most Notable Pursuit. And those are the ones that were $40. I did not know these were coming when she sent the box. They're new to the cross-stitch industry. And they had purchased, two women who purchased a store from somebody else, and they were just trying to get rid of dead inventory. And they said, well, we've had this stuff in front of our customers 1,000 times and it's just not going to sell. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'll give it a try. So this is A Most Noble Pursuit, and this was a 2006 market exclusive. And I got two of them. I am keeping one for myself, and the other one has already sold. But it is 10 different samplers by 10 different artists. And the artists are Primitive Traditions, Hands to Work, Bright Needle, The Work Basket, Praiseworthy Stitches, Patricia Ann Designs, With My Needle, La-Di-Da, Stitch in a Prayer, and Carriage House Sampling. And the theme that the designers were given was women. So I am so, so excited. What I think I would like to do, I don't think I want to stitch it all in one big piece like this. And I've got to figure out, it calls for, let's see, trying to see what size fabric, 36 count. I would like to not go any higher than 32 count. But what I'm thinking, I got to see what the individual sizes would be on 32 count. What I'm thinking is making a sampler book out of these. And I'm not sure how to start with that, like how to finish my edges of my fabric and stuff like that, and then how to finish the book. So if anybody has any suggestions or has a video link that they can send to me on how to do a sampler book. Now, it'll be years before I get all these done because I don't think I'll stitch them all right away. And I'm going to pick out my favorites first. But I thought if I could just have a little book that sits on a table and you flip through otherwise I would stitch them all the same size and display a few at a time or something. I don't know. But I was really, really excited to get that. So excuse me, I'm going to be drinking water all during the video. And the person who purchased the one on our site, I just put it out on the site, and I did ask quite a bit for it. I think I asked $89, and I put out a email that just said unicorn alert. There is a big unicorn in our newest batch of inventory. And it took about 2 hours and it sold, and the woman who purchased it was just thrilled to have it. So that's going to take me right into my business segment. The business segment today is going to be used or purchasing inventory from individuals or cross-stitch stores, and not from wholesale. So not Hoffman, Witchell, Yarn Tree, or directly from a designer. So that's how I got started in really 1999, 2000. I started buying large lots of used books on eBay and then listing them individually. And that's always been what I've been known for. Now, since I've always had a few brand new books that I buy from a wholesaler. Since I went to market last year, I have drastically increased my amount of new inventory. And that's, opened me up to a wider audience of stitchers. But I still do purchase individual shop inventory, stores that go out of business, or like this store, people who want to get rid of old inventory that's not selling to their customers, and from individuals. Now, before you get all excited and think, oh, Carla can buy all of my cross-stitch books, I'm going to go through what I do when I purchase. but I'm not purchasing right at this moment. So listen to what I have to say. I'm going to provide a link down below to our page, the page on our website that gives more details. Now, first of all, I'm really picky. The books have to be in excellent to new condition. Actually, individual collections are often in better condition than shop inventory, because shop inventory has displayware. You know, people are going through it. It's been in a filing cabinet and people flip through, or it's been on one of those metal wire displays, and the bottom is often a little bit damaged. And most stitchers take really good care of their books. But in the past, I would just take everything, and I literally would have hundreds of books that were falling apart, had stains, stuff like that. So I've limited now to, I don't want, you know, good condition. I want excellent to new condition. Also, I absolutely will not take anything from a store or a home where people are allowed to smoke, even if they're not allowed to smoke in the same room. Again, this is from 20 years of experience. I ordered a whole bunch, or I purchased a whole bunch of books from somebody, and they just reeked of cigarette smoke. And I tried to air them out, and I tried all kinds of things, and a lot of them I just threw. And you know, I can't send those to a customer who is nobody would be happy receiving a book that smelled like cigarette smoke. So even if there are smokers in the house but not in the craft room, I still don't accept them. The other thing is, I ask that people not, quote, cherry pick their inventory or their selections. You know, if like this person who gave me this unicorn kind of unknowingly, but if you go and you take, you know, every Plum Street sampler and every Blackbird design, and only give me you know, Precious Moments from 1983 or older, then I'm not going to accept the box. Because, or if that's just all you have, then, you know, we can talk, or I might offer you less. But those things just don't sell, and I'm going to be stuck with them. So, and I'm kind of to the point where I have so many books to list right now, and I keep ordering more wholesale things. And I'm actually trying to get back more to used inventory and closed or extra shop inventory, because that's kind of what we're known for. So I this last batch with the a most noble pursuit, sorry, I forgot what it was called, had a lot of nice stuff. There were some Blackbird designs and just a bunch, and those I've listed about half of those. And I also have another collection from a woman who just kept really good condition of her books, and I need to get to entering those too. So let's see, don't cherry pick, no smoking, no mildew. So if it's been down in your basement for a long time and been exposed to damp, has any kind of water stains, of course mold, that type of thing, then no. And also, I only take cross stitch, so no Hardinger, no needlepoint, no knitting, you know, crocheting, anything like that. And it's gone, you know, I've purchased probably, I don't know, 40,000 books over the years, at least, from individuals and stores that have gone out of business, and it's gone really, really well. And it's a way, like I've talked about this before, how you have to find your niche. And that is Cobweb Corner's niche, is, you know, we don't have a lot of fabric, we don't have a lot of threads, stuff like that, but we do have some books that are older, hard to find often, and priced very reasonably for the most part. I very, very rarely price anything over retail, but I'm not going to sell something to somebody who can, for $10, who can turn around and sell it for $55 or more on eBay, because that's just not good business. So, and then what I normally do is, if it's an individual collection, I pay about 18 to 20% of retail. So what I do is I ask people to it's best. A lot of people will sit down and make an Excel spreadsheet, and they'll put the title, the designer, the retail price, and then what 18% of that price is. And that way I have a count of how many to expect. I need to know how many expect. Are you talking 25 books, or are you talking 2,500? Which I have had individuals who have had collections of over 5,000 books. So so that's not a unheard of thing. Many people have hundreds of books. So I need to know, if I'm going to have a commitment with a person, I'm like, wow, or how many books are we talking, and what do you think the estimated retail value of those books are? And that'll give me an idea of what I'm getting into. Then I often, if the person has quite a few, I will often say, let's start with one box. And one box is a large, it's best, most economical to use a large flat rate priority box. And that way you can get a very, very good selection of charts in. And I can get an idea. I ask them to pick between what they think is good, what they think is more worn, what they think might not sell, and give me a good variety. And then I ask them to ship them without me paying first, so that I can look at them, because I don't want to pay somebody, a couple $100 and then have it arrive and it's smoke, smells like cigarette smoke, or it's torn, or not at all what we had agreed upon. And then if I like it, we make an offer, and I usually pay $10 towards shipping, and then, like I said, 18 to 20% of the retail value of the books. Now remember, when it's used, I always state on my website that it's used, and you always need to read the condition statement of every item on my site, and that you either open it up in quick view or you open up the full product view. And in red, it'll say condition. And then if it's new, it's new. It came from Hoffman, it came from Witchild, it came from Yarn Tree, or it came from a store that either went out of business, or like this one is getting rid of inventory. If it has a lot of shopware from a store that went out of business, I will say new, moderate aging or minor aging, and some lower edgeware from display, that type of thing. So you'll know that your item's not going to be in perfect condition, even though it was never sold to anybody before. Then if it is used, even if a person sells it to me from an individual collection and it's in brand new condition, I state that it's pre-owned. And then I'll say pre-owned, new condition, pre-owned, excellent to near new condition, that type of thing. And if there's any, a lot of people write their names on their chart or something like that, I'll include that too. And pre-owned items are going to be less than what I would sell a new item for, because it's pre-owned. So that gives you an idea. Again, I'll put a link below. I go in spurts. I'll go many, many months or even a year without buying anything from anyone, just because I have too many books waiting to be entered into my inventory. And other times I'll buy a bunch all at once. So the link down below will give you all the details. Like I said, it does sound really picky, but I've learned the system I have now has worked out really well and works for everybody involved, so that there's no unforeseen questions or problems, and we know what we're getting into ahead of time. So that's where I get almost all of my pre-owned inventory is, or I don't know what you call it, new old stock. So a new old stock is when you have older items that have never been sold or never been used before. And I get a lot of that. So that's what makes us unique, and it's a lot of fun to go through. I've had the Monopoly chart twice. I haven't had it in 12 years probably. And I've had the Gone with the Wind Scarlett O'Hara chart maybe twice. Again, not in a long time. And then I got this recent unicorn. So in all the times I've been doing this, I've probably had, I don't know, a handful of charts that I've sold for over $40, whose original price was like $5. So, but it's fun. It's fun to get a box and look through them and I'm like, oh, these are really going to sell well. Or, oh, I know I have a customer who's going to love this. And also to look at and say, yeah, I've had that. And I have 27 copies of that already and it's not going to sell very well. But anyway, so that's the business topic for today. Winner from last week. What did I give away last week? And she's already contacted me, was Stitchin' 304. So sorry, I don't have the giveaway with me. Stitchin' 304 won, and like I said, she's gotten a hold of me, and I'm going to get that in the mail to her or him. I don't know if it's a he or a she. It's if they are a he or a she. Some shop news, stitch alongs. We started a new stitch along for the Songbird Garden series by Cottage Garden Samplers. Can't remember. And we have 38 members, and the official start date for that stitch along is February 23rd. Some people have already started, and some people are going to wait till March 1st, but we would love to have you join us. We also have a stitch along for the Bewitching Pixies series by Nora Corbett, and that started, I think the official start date was around just after Thanksgiving, and quite a few people started, but with the holidays and everything, most people are really getting going now. And I posted to a Nora Corbett Facebook group about the stitch along, and we had an explosion of members. So we now have 108 people stitching the Bewitching Pixies series, and you can stitch one or you can stitch as many as you want. And you can start whenever you want. I haven't picked one. I don't know if I'm going to actually stitch on this one. I'm going to choose something for the Songbird Gardens stitch along and stitch one of those. I've looked at them probably 15 times, gone through all 12 of them, and I just cannot pick out which one I want to stitch. But I'm also getting ready. I'm going to have at least 3 more stitch alongs this year. And I might not stitch in every one of them, but they're a lot of fun, and they're a great way to get people introduced to Cobweb Corner. So some of them are going to be really easy, simple smalls, and some will be a little bit more detailed. One of the stitch alongs I know I'm going to have, this is brand new inventory that I entered this week. These are by Kitty and Me Designs, and they're the colorful cats, colorful bunnies, colorful, what else? Owls and colorful eagles. And I love this series. So here's Pharaoh and Jelly Bean. And let's see what's some of the popular ones. Lemonade, Mistletoe. I love Mistletoe. And then let me find, here's Valentino. And each one is a different shape face. And here's one of the owls. This is Hornsby. And let me find, here's a bunny. This is pink and green. And, oh, where's the eagle? Let me see if I can find the eagle. I don't know, might not have it here. Oops, sorry, I'm sure that was loud on there. There's an eagle, a colorful eagle. It's called Colorful Eagle Patriot, and it is stunning. And I don't think I have it here. Pharaoh, Lemonade, Mistletoe, Valentino. But anyway, I'm going to, probably when I get back from vacation, set up a stitch along for anything in the colorful series. And that way, hopefully we can see a whole bunch of these being stitched by different people. And I don't know which one I'm going to stitch. I'm kind of thinking about the eagle, but there's only one eagle, and I'm sure that'll be picked by a lot of people. But anyway, get ready for that. That'll be a separate Facebook group, and I'm hoping to start that, I don't know. I'll get the group going in March, I'm sure. So I have some other ideas. If you have any ideas, I like to do things where it's not just everybody stitching the same thing. It's a lot more fun for me to see, like the Bewitching Pixies. People are doing it on some really cool fabrics, and everybody's, not everybody, but lots of people are stitching different ones. So you get to see them worked up on different sizes, different fabrics. Not too many people so far are changing out the floss, but that's a possibility too. Sorry, I need to take a drink. So if you have any series that you would like to see stitched, some of my other ideas are the Beatitudes series by Shepherd's Bush. And then there's a Little Lamb series, I can't remember what it is, by Little House Needleworks. And I was also thinking of the Delivery series by Plum Street Samplers. And I think they're coming out with their winter one at March Market. So I'm hoping I want to make sure we have, there's a Halloween delivery, and then there's a spring, summer, and autumn delivery. And we've been waiting for winter, but that would be an awesome stitch along. So look for those. I'm gonna be doing quite a few of those. Since I'm a monogamous stitcher, I don't know how many I'll be able to participate in, but I'll organize them and get them going. So if you've been with me for the last 6 or 7 videos, I've been doing a sampler history lesson out of this 2-volume set called Girlhood Embroidery by Betty Ring. And the last week we're still in Massachusetts. And this is a history of samplers from early 1600s through the 1800s. Last week we did the Fishing Lady series. And that was a series or similar samplers with a woman fishing or a shepherdess that were mostly only seen in Massachusetts. This week, we're going to talk about silk embroideries of colonial Boston and featuring chimney pieces. Now, I had somebody ask me last week what a chimney piece is, and a chimney piece is usually a long rectangular piece that goes over the fireplace. It can also go down the side, but it's basically just a decoration for the fireplace. And so I'll be sharing some of those with you. I hope to insert pictures, so we'll see how it goes. So I'm still reading the same chapter in Massachusetts, and this one is Silk Embroideries of Colonial Boston. It says, contemporary with the Fishing Lady pictures is a small but impressive group of pictorial embroideries on silk worked in Boston during the 1750s and 1760s. 4 of the surviving samples, of which 3 are in this book, were worked by Faith, the eldest daughter of Governor Jonathan Trumbull of Lebanon. And before I continue, I want to remind you, this book, the author, her purpose was to trace samplers back to the teachers. So samplers weren't, patterns were rarely created by a woman or girl herself. The girls were sent to school, and the teacher would provide patterns for the girls. That's why so many patterns are similar. And by their similarity, the author was able to trace specific samplers back to a specific school and a specific teacher, which is really interesting. So anyway, she's going to talk about that here. So she was the eldest daughter of Governor Jonathan Trumbull of Lebanon, Connecticut. Her younger brother, the artist John Trumbull, remarked in his autobiography that his 2 sisters, quote, had completed their education in an excellent school in Boston where they had both been taught embroidery, end quote. Also, correspondence in the Jonathan Trumbull papers reveals that in 1753, Faith Trumbull was instructed by Elizabeth Murray, and thereby offers clues to the type of needlework taught by one of the most interesting and successful women teaching in the mid-18th century Boston. Elizabeth Murray was 23 years old in 1749 when she arrived in Boston from Scotland with sufficient goods to open a dry goods shop and considerable skills as a needlewoman. On March 25th, 1751, she placed the following advertisement in the Boston Evening Post. Elizabeth Murray, next door to Deacon Botano's on Cornhill, Boston, teaches Dresden and other kinds of needleworks. Likewise, accommodates young ladies with board and half board at a reasonable price. And then she listed a bunch of stuff she had for sale. In the next 2 years, she ran a number of ads as a milliner with descriptions of the goods she sold, but no references to teaching. She was at the same address on March 12, 1753, when she again offered instruction and board to young ladies. Within a few years, she had evidently established a secure business, and judging by her charges for materials and tuition, she had the wealthiest of New Englanders for patrons. So then she goes on to describe the chimney pieces completed by some of the girls in this school, and I'm going to try to insert them here. The first one is The Death of Absalom, a chimney piece and scratched on glass, wrought by Sarah Henshaw. It's silk, gold, and silver metal, metallic cord, fringe and threads, beads, and painted paper on silk. See Sarah's coat of arms. In 1750, she also worked a fine sampler, which is privately owned. Let's see, it just goes on to describe family. So I'm going to try to insert that here. So that is, they're just amazing. And the metal, silk, gold, and silver metal reminded me of something. I was on DMC's website the other day, and I saw their limited edition 24 karat gold floss, and I think it was on sale for $77 a skein. And that reminded me of when we lived in France, and we would visit all the cathedrals and churches in France, and there would be these beautiful tapestries, and many of them had gold thread. But during the Revolution in France, the cathedrals and churches were ransacked. The church was kind of deemed to be a wealthy elite and not taking care of the poor like it should. And unfortunately, many of the artwork and items in the cathedrals were either stolen or destroyed. And they would take these stunning, beautiful samplers and burn them to get the gold out of them. And it's really sad, but so they were using, back then they were using real gold threads and other embellishments like that. So that reminded me of that. A girl named Sally Derby is also credited with canvas work chimney piece framed in the manner of a previous one, and said to have been worked on by Miss Derby in 1765. That embroidery can be traced to the Derby family, and if worked in 1765, Sally was the only Derby daughter young enough to have made the sampler. However, the source of the date is unknown, and it may have been worked by one of her sisters. So the next one I'm going to show you is a chimney piece by Faith Trumbull of Boston from 1754. It is silk, mica, and paint on blue silk. And then another one is a chimney piece, also by Faith Trumbull, and it is silk and paint on black silk. The ground is completely embroidered, except for the birdcatcher's hat, pants, and shoes. The frame is believed to have been purchased in London by Faith's brother in 1764. It has been refinished. Just in case, I'm going to show this to you because of this picture insert, but all of this pasture land and grass is all embroidered. So isn't that beautiful? And then the next one is a chimney piece by Sarah Derby, and this one, the colors are just amazing. It's silk and paint on black silk with the original frame and original glass in the center panel. As in the Trumbull embroidery, the black silk is intentionally visible. So that's this week's was the silk embroideries, and I can't imagine working on silk. I just think that would be so hard. I know some people do. Next week is going to be still Massachusetts, and it's going to be embroidered coats of arms. So that ought to be really interesting. So that's the sampler lesson for today. There is a link in my Amazon shop if you want to purchase your own copy of this 2-volume set. They're about $90. And I'll put the link down below to my shop, and then you can find the book in there. Okay, the next giveaway. Our giveaway this week is a brand new chart, brand new condition by Sam Sarah Designs, and it is called Spring Flower Sampler. It's got this cute little bunny down here with a carrot and some hearts and this daisy and the alphabet, and it just says spring. So if you would like to stitch that, just say, I'd like to stitch the spring flower. I'd like to stitch the spring flower. And the next time I have a FlossTube video, I will announce the winner for that. Some other shop news. I have set up a separate channel called Cobweb Corner Shop News or Cobweb Corner Shop, and I'm going to put a link to that down below. There's a lot of times where I have information that I think my viewers will be interested in, but it's not a FlossTube. For example, I posted and they're usually very short videos, like 59 seconds or 38 seconds or something like that. And I posted one for the unicorn chart that I had, and then I post when I have an auction sale, and I post sometimes when I have new inventory. But I would like to keep those separate from my FlossTube channel. So if you are a shopper at Cobweb Corner and you are interested in knowing, I don't do it a lot, every once in a while, and if sometimes I go in spurts and I'll do new inventory 3 or 4 times in 1 week. But I also post videos on sales, which reminds me, it is currently February 14th. Oh, and by the way, it's my birthday today. So I was going to start with that and I forgot. I'm not going to tell you how old I am. You're free to guess if you want. But yes, I'm a Valentine's baby, and I just tell my husband that's why I'm so sweet. And he just kind of laughs. So, but yeah, not doing anything special. We're going to wait and celebrate when we go on vacation in Spain. But anyway, if you're interested in knowing when we have free inventory, we have new inventory and sales and stuff like that, then subscribe to this other channel, and I will try to keep my FlossTube channel clear. And that link to that channel is down below in the more information section. So I entered a lot of new inventory this week, well, this last 2 weeks, and I just want to show you, I showed you the colorful series, and I want to show you a little bit of some of my favorites. I have a huge stack here. I'll just pick out some. I love this one by, oh geez, I never look first. Designs by Lisa, and it's called Her Llama, and it's got a little hen on top of the llama, and I just think that's adorable. Then brand new by Core Betty Core, and I really like this. If you've been wanting to try Core Betty Core but don't want to do a larger project, these are a great start. It is 12 different bookmarks, and look at aren't they just adorable? I love this little witch and the snowman and a scarecrow, and the month names are in Italian, let's see, Italian, English, and French. So, and I love this Santa Claus, but it gives you a really good idea of her style, and these would make adorable gifts. So it's called Un Libro al Mes, Books of the Month. Then I got, this isn't a brand new chart, but it's new to Cobweb Corner. It's called Peppermint Pink by Tempting Tangles. Peppermint Pig. I swear, I'm trying to talk too fast, and I apologize for that. And this is done in Dinky Dyes Silk Floss, and there is a silk pack available for this. But it has a information down here from the designer that peppermint pigs during the Victorian era were considered good luck. And at New Year's time or the holiday time, they would make a peppermint pig, and when guests came over, they would smash the pig and everybody would get a piece of it, and that was supposed to bring them luck for the new year. So I thought that was really cute. Relatively new by Glendon Place, and I hadn't purchased it yet, is Tonight is Halloween. It says, shadows of 1,000 years rise again unseen. Voices whisper in the trees. Tonight is Halloween. And then Michelle at Bendy Stitchy had shown this chart, and when I saw it on her FlossTube, I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta have this. And I just love it. It is Vintage Birds by Jeanette Douglas. And as Michelle pointed out in her FlossTube, the peacock is all done in Algerian eyelet. But I just love that chart. I think I would love to stitch this chart. So I added that to our website. Brand new from Homespun Elegance is Traveling Snowman Truck. And they've had a series of these truck designs lately. New to Cobweb Corner is Yuletide Welcome by Plum Street Samplers. It's got this, it's like a complete sampler style, and then it has this little Christmas elf and this sleigh and a reindeer. And it says Yuletide Welcome. Let's see, Yuletide Welcome to Thee. Isn't that cool? I love that. And then I got the Holly Berry Farm series by Stacy Nash Primitives. And this one is Summer at Holly Berry Farm. And then I think there's a Halloween and a winter and an autumn. I got With Thy Needle and Thread, Liberty, starting to gear up for 4th of July and summer. And Liberty for All, also by With Thy Needle and Thread. Oh, here's the Halloween chart. Halloween at Holly Berry Farm. Then also pretty new by Glendon Place, and I hadn't had it yet, is, let's see, she says how to pronounce it, Violacea, which is the Latin name for the garden pansy. And it's in her Flower Mandala series. And this is also done in, done in Dinky Dyes Silk Floss. And the floss pack for that is available. That's really beautiful. Brand new by Imaginating. It's called Plant, Pull, Grow. And it says, plant dreams, pull weeds, and grow a happy life. And then it has Welcome and Home Sweet Home. Then you've probably seen this on other floss tubes. A lot of people are stitching this right now. It's brand new by Heartstring Samplery, and it's Kind Words. Let's see, let's look for the new stuff. This one's brand new by Imaginating, and it says, My eyes search for you. It says, in a sea of people, my eyes will always search for you. Brand new by Heartstring Samplery, V is for Valentine's, from the Alphabet series, number 7 in the series. And also by Heartstring Samplery, brand new is my, oh no, this one's not brand new. I thought this was the Peace Sampler. This is the My Funny Valentine Sampler. And it says, My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart, stay little Valentine, stay. Then another one new to Cobweb Corner that I love by Plum Street Samplers is Victor and Arena. And it's their take on The Lion and the Lamb. And it says, Peace I leave with you. Brand new by Rosewood Manor. This is Postcard of Love. And then this one's not brand new, but I love it. It's by Carriage House Samplings, and it's A Mind Independent and Free. And it says, No glory I covet, no riches I want, ambition and beauty are nothing to me. The one thing I beg of good heaven to grant is a mind independent and free. Sorry, I'm rambling today. So that's really beautiful. Let's see. This one's brand new, Valentine Sampler by Cottage Garden Samplings, and it's got something to do about love or Valentine's Day, a different word for every letter of the alphabet. And this is brand new by Imaginating. Little pilot birth record. Trying to get some different types of things to show you. And then I got this, picked this up. This is not brand new, but I really like it. It's by Sweetheart Tree. Our flag does not fly because the wind moves it. It flies with the last breath of every soldier who died protecting it. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that delicate border gorgeous? And then it comes with embellishments needed to complete the design. And then I picked up this by Nemu, and it's little the Little Scotsman. And the last thing I'll show you, I have a lot more, but the last thing I'll show you is a new series by Nora Corbett, and it's the Pond Pixies. And there's, so far they have Pond Lily, Dewdrops, Lily Pad Sprite, and Water Sprite. And there are embellishment packs available for those. So that's just, I've probably added 250 charts since my last FlossTube. So those are available to check out. I'm going to end with my poem. I've been reading a poem out of this book called The Rose That Blooms in the Night by Allie Michelle. And this is also in my Amazon shop. There's a link to my Amazon shop down below, and if you click on that, you can find this in my books section. Let me take a drink before I read, and hopefully I can read without stumbling. The name of this poem is Love Simply to Love. Love simply to love. People may cause pain or act unconsciously at times, but that is coming from a wound that existed long before you crossed their path. Love simply to love. Everyone has their messy human ways of being. Judging any of it is a waste of your one and only precious life, and trying to change people is about as useful as trying to contain the 7 seas in a teacup. You'll drown in the attempt. So love, simply to love. You deserve to feel free, and I mean truly free. Free of worry, free of judgment. Love and freedom is your nature, and when you start to embody that, something amazing happens. The world will open its heart to you as you open yours. Colors will become brighter, food will taste better, everything will become a meaningful experience when you love simply to love. So I thought that was appropriate for Valentine's Day. So that's it. It went a little longer than normal. I'll see if I can edit some of this out. And thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Have a great Valentine's Day if you're watching today. And happy stitching, everybody. Bye.